recording. And recording. This episode of Getting Table is brought to you by Valhalla Hobby. Use code GT2305 to get 5% off any order over $100. The code is GT2305. You can find them at valhallahobby.com.
Brought to you by some guys on the internet.
This is Getting Tabled.
With your hosts, Jason the Bruce,
You guy!
George the Yank,
I hope you are all entertained by my inaptitude.
Jason aka Major Socks.
We've been doing this and talking about various stuff. One of the stuff.
Now sit back, relax, and get tabled.
Hello, future people, and welcome to Getting Tabled, episode 112 with Major Socks on the drums.
Yes, I'm on the drums.
Yeah, your mic was picking that up really bad.
Anyways, and we got George the Yank in up above, in where the balmy weather of Wyoming is 85?
80.
80. Okay,
80.
5 off.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like I haven't been here for a month.
You haven't been here for a while,
Oh.
so welcome back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't been here. No, yeah, I took some time, went up to Yellowstone, and then I was doing something else. What else was I doing?
I don't know.
I was doing something. Oh,
okay.
yes, I didn't have internet. That's what happened.
That's what it was. Yeah, you didn't have internet one time. Then that's right.
Yes, I had to take an involuntary Monday off because I can't do my job without internet. So, that sucked. So yeah,
that was a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it went out on a Saturday, and I sent an email to my bosses like, "Hey, I don't have internet right now. Just FYI, I'm not making this up. Come Monday morning." Monday morning, I called my boss. He's like, "Still don't have internet?" And I'm like, "Nope." He's like, "You want to take some PTO then?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of have to, right?"
Guess so.
He's like, "Yeah." So, anyways, let's jump into the news.
Newly received or noteworthy information, especially about recent or important events.
And I have to fix our faces here real quick. There's my face. Maybe I'll just leave your face off. That might be better for people to watch.
Oh, ouch. Well, Bruce isn't here anyway, so we can just leave his off. Oh, wait, he's not here anyways.
Yeah, no, I was talking about leaving yours off.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, anyways, we got Blacksite Studios. Well, George is fixing my face.
There's your face. Yeah, Blacksite Studios. Mobile
Home Park.
Bruce must be like all excited
Dying over these.
and salivating for this for Entropy City.
Yeah.
Here's the best part. You know what my best part and favorite part about this kit is?
The little pink flamingo.
The little pink flamingos, and I also just noticed this. Let's see if I can. Where's it at? Here.
The aerial?
No.
The big aerial antenna?
No. Oh God! So one of the trailer homes has tires on the deck.
Oh yeah, I did see that now.
I was looking at. Yes, if you scroll down, if you go to the third from the bottom photo, and then you've got the three lined up. The pink house that has the pink flamingos also has a hot tub.
Yes. Indeed.
I believe.
So, yeah.
I believe that is the first hot tub I've seen for terrain.
MDF. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Those flamingos are huge compared to the hot tub, though.
Make them any smaller, and they get too fidgety to fiddle with.
No, I agree. They're almost as small as a figurine.
I don't know. Have you seen some of those pink flamingos? I'm sure you see a lot
Some
of
of
those.
them can be.
I was going to say, there better be like a neighborhood dedicated solely to the only lawnmower you have is a pink flamingo where you live.
There's actually a huge one in the Tampa airport.
Here's my shocked face.
Yep. Anyways, yeah, this mobile home park is pretty cool looking and pretty well detailed, as we know from Blacksite Studios.
And pre-painted.
and pre-painted as well. So
I love the fact that even the skirting is like a terrain piece.
yeah, and how they have a bump on cinder block pieces of MDF
Yeah.
that look like cinder blocks.
This
So-
is fairly epic.
Yep, Bruce, you need to get some of this for Entropy City.
Yeah, if he doesn't have some on order, yeah, he's making a mistake, because that screams Entropy City, Entropy City. If I can
Yeah.
talk, sell seashells down by the seashore.
you
Next
go.
from Blacksite Studios, we have the Pier. The Pier looks like a pier.
From San Francisco.
I was thinking like more like, kind of Jersey, since Jersey's more known for its piers. But
No, I agree.
Let's be honest though, like any largely populated waterfront, they're gonna have piers. I mean, that's gonna be an attraction.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Jersey, because you got like Nathan's Hot Dogs and 4th of July, like that's like one of the most famous piers / boardwalks we have in this country. So it's got benches, some fences. It's a
The
pretty
little viewing
straightforward.
stand.
Oh, hey,
It's got the little viewing stands.
yeah. I was gonna say, if you scroll further on down, it looks like they've got it with like a lake scenery, like showing off versatility of it's not just for the ocean.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Couple of sign archways, kind of go along with the decorations. A lifeguard post.
Yeah, the archway that says the pier. That's fairly cool looking.
Yeah,
Next, there's quite a bit from Blacksite Studios. We have Lunar 2-player starter board pre-order. It looks like it is space, and I think Casey is back because the dogs are saying someone's here. I don't know if you can hear them.
not much.
Good. It's a 32mm skirmish game set during humanity's battle for lunar superiority. Russia versus USA, anyone?
Yeah, and
Uh,
China. They have China in here too.
Well, let's be honest. We can still make fun of Russia right now. If you make fun of China, we might get like marked for that. I don't know why. Scrolling through looking for some of the stuff here. I'm gonna go back up to the minis because that's the cool part. Pretty much basic, straightforward, like 60s, 70s era, like what's the word? Technology as far as for the way the spacesuits look.
The Apollo
Right.
programs.
Yeah.
Especially the moon buggy. I don't know if you scroll down to see some of the other factions, but they have a moon buggy that looks just like the buggy that they drove around with the Apollo program.
I don't see the moon buggy.
Scroll down on that main page on the pre-order set. You scroll down.
Oh, it's on the... Oh, hey, there it is.
You may also like part. Because then you got the ROC, you've got the Chinese taikonauts, NASA's, and then you got Soviet cosmonauts. And then I clicked on the... Which one did I click on? The Rock, Republic of China. And they have freelance factions too. So, like, I'm guessing maybe European.
SpaceX.
Or just a bunch of guys. SpaceX. Yeah, that works too.
Let's be honest. Elon has privatized space travel.
It's true.
Pretty cool looking. It's probably pretty fun. I like the fact that it's something that's like we have lots of space and sci-fi type gaming out there. I mean, Drop Fleet, Drop Zone, of course, Warhammer 40K, and this is normal stuff. This is so one of my favorite shows is Stargate SG-1, just because we went from we're traveling through the Stargate and we have junk for technology to check out this Daedalus class, battleship we've got flying through space. Like, this is what this is. Because I guarantee you, even though we have the Daedalus type ship, where it's like huge and massive and can go toe-to-toe with the Goa'uld Uld, the spacesuits are still looking like this.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the limitations of our technology.
Have you had astronaut ice cream?
I have.
Seen the pack?
Yeah, it's...
So I love how the packaging for this looks like you.
Yeah, it's like
you'd open a pouch of astronaut food.
Yeah, like freeze
the ice cream.
Freeze-dried food, yes.
Yeah.
Next on the list from Black Site Backroom, that's a loaded phrase right there.
Yeah.
Coming soon. Looks like we got some co-op monster hunting game in feudal Japan. Brother Bear, aka Ben, will probably be excited about that. That's kind of his shtick there with Bushido. Breacher, so this is going to be like, what is this? Looks like
heroic action adventure game played solo, head to head, or campaign.
Yeah, private mercenaries. Yeah, so this looks like just like what you would see in a normal movie, like or the Jack Ryan series.
Yeah,
like Black Ops stuff. And then you work for them. You work for them as a brand new RPG set in a world of, I don't know that word.
Liminal, or
yeah, players will play through. Oh, this sounds horrifying. Players will make their way through a sterile corporate environment.
Hospitals.
No. Sterile corporate environment. We're talking like stock trading or like, insurance sales or banking. That sounds terrifying. Here we got Lunar, which is obviously, we just talked about that. And of course, Don't Look Back because, Don't Look Back. That's kind of what Black Site Studios is known for. What we got next here?
I think this is just some of the stuff that previews for.
This is just some screenshots right here of here's some close-ups of spacemen from Lunar. Then there's the pier. Ooh, this playmat. I don't know if you can see it. It's the coastline.
Yeah, I did see it.
Yeah,
that coastline does look nice.
That looks pretty good. Trailer park. Close-ups of the trailer. Ooh, that water looks pretty too. There's the pier. So yeah, just more photos of what we already looked at. So next on the list is Airfix owner Hornby buys major stock in Warlord Games. So Hornby Hobby PLC has bought a 25% share in war games manufacturer Warlord Games, along with the option to acquire more of the business in the future. The Warlord Games sale was announced to customers in a subscriber email on Wednesday, which states the existing management team will remain in place to drive business as the way we were. So that tells me one of two things, and my mouse is not behaving properly. There we go. Oh, I was on the wrong spot. That tells me one of two things. Warlord Games might be in some financial issues, but not too terrible to where... 25% is not huge, but that's still a pretty big chunk.
That's a good chunk.
That gives Hornby their voice is heard, but their voice is not absolute. But there's the option to buy more in the future. So, or the second thing is Warlord Games has got something big coming up, and they need more capita than what they have in-house and in assets to move forward, which that's one of the biggest problems of growing and expanding business. Of you hit that certain point where you have to expand to do more, but you don't have money to expand with.
Yeah.
Because you need the expansion to get those sources. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. It's fairly huge news. Another company buying a reasonably large share of another company, that's definitely attention grabbing. And either Warlord Games is making a smart early choice, or a smart necessary choice.
Yeah. I mean, because I actually have a few Warlord Games' stuff. Black Seas is theirs. Black Powders is theirs. Bolt Action I used to have is theirs. Victory at Sea is theirs. And so I have 3 of their games right now, and they're pretty fun. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to find out, like, what this sale was, needed for, or if we'll even find out.
Yeah.
If it was to help the business out, we probably will never find out. If it was to launch or expand something, we'll probably find out in the next 4 to 5 months, probably, I would say.
Yeah.
So, and I'm following the links Bruce posted up. Okay, so looks like Hornby Hobby does a lot of model train type stuff. Can you say Snowpiercer board game sucks?
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting to. I mean, and let's be honest, as far as like hobby goes, model trains are one of those things where it's like they're not huge and they're not going to do anything like impressive, but they are steady. Like model train enthusiasm, just it stays.
Yeah.
There's been no real surge, so there's been no dip. It stays. So I don't know. Looking at this though, with the fact that they do make actual like train sets, I'm wondering if there's something really huge coming from Warlord Games now involving trains, because that would be really freaking cool.
That would be interesting.
So let's see here. Next, a little Kickstarter Bruce found called Meeple Keepers is what he called it, or what it's called. It's a 3D printable game table. I remember seeing this. I can't remember if I sent this or if he just found it again. This seems pretty cool, but holy cow, you're going to put your 3D printer through the paces.
Yeah.
You print the components to make a
gaming table.
A gaming table. Yeah.
A full-size gaming table.
And here, let me just
if you want
bring this into perspective. So this tray right here is that thick, this big, with embedded magnet from Organizer.
Yep.
This took 15 hours to print.
Yeah, you're going to be printing for months, if not years, depending on the size of the table and how intricate you want it to be.
Yeah, that's oh, my mouse. I've been having issues with my mouse here the last few days, and it's picked a really wonderful time to start acting up. Okay, so if we go here to section 5, see, this looks kind of cool right here. It's a little like token tray that you slide onto
the table.
An existing table. That looks kind of cool. Now, if this is like the entire concept of, it slides onto the table like that, it's still going to take a heck of a long time to print. But that would be really cool given the table I have sitting to my right here. Just, grab some components, slide it on. You have, extra storage on the table without actually having to have a bigger table. Oh, yeah, if we go to section 6 here, there's a little time lapse of it all being put together. Mm-hmm. So, needless to say, though, that's still going to take a really, really long time to print.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they're showing off how sturdy it is, various parts and pieces. This is really cool looking. I'm not going to lie. This is this is really interesting. And given what I've done recently as far as dipping my toe into the world of 3D printing, haven't done much in the last month. I'll share that in hobby time. But yeah, holy smokes. This is really kind of cool.
Lots of different accessories for cups, for dice, for tokens.
Yeah, it's
dice towers.
The thing about this is the manufacturer literally is not out anything. They don't have to actually make a physical product and ship it like, say, Wormwood does with their gaming table, or any of the other types of gaming tables out there. Just say, here's the STL. Good luck.
Go have fun.
Right? Because, you know, my 3D printer, it's going to struggle on some of these parts. Just because, I mean, it's not the biggest 3D printer out there, and some of these 3D printers to print some of these parts, you know, they're large printers and they're not cheap. So, given that, you could get a fairly large a table for the cost of a 3D printer needed to print this. But it is really cool looking.
I do agree. And then if you want to back it, you've got 11 days to go. So they've got almost 50,000 out of their 6,000 goal, 5,500 goal. So,
well, like I said, you know, it's a 3D, you know, file thing. You know, they don't need to come up with a lot. You know, like Kickstarters on 3D printing. I mean, God, they're so lucrative because all they have to do is make a digital file.
yeah,
That initial goal they're looking for, 5,500. That's literally for them to say, "What this is my time and effort," and so he's literally made a decent month's salary in 10 days, or sorry, a decent year's salary in 10 days. So, I won't be backing that. I would love to hear from someone who does back that though, of the quality of the STL files, and you know, because there's lots of variables like what kind of, you know, filament are you using, what kind of printer you're using, how big is the printer, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many varying factors. So ultimately, it does start with the quality of the printing file, because I've gotten some print files where they're just absolute crap. So next on the list, yes, I'll agree and proceed. Infinity Endsong Battle. We're looking at Corvus Belli here, which hands down I'd say top 5% industry worldwide in miniature quality and detail.
yeah.
I
agree. When I started getting into Infinity when I was back in England, one of the guys that I played games with, he got into it, and I have to agree, Infinity models that we were playing with were pretty good, and they're only getting better over the years.
Yeah. The set is 125 euro. Let's see. It looks like it is a book and 4 models. Or come on, scroll. There we go. It includes the Infinity Enemy book. I'm not even gonna say those. The pre-order exclusive pack includes 2 exclusive decorative bases, Illuminatrix of the Observance Event Exclusive Edition. Good lord, that is a mouthful. I don't know. It seems to be a little on the pricey side.
Yeah, for a book and 4 models, I kind of have to agree.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you think about those, you know, if you look at like, you know, Games Workshop, you know, it's the standard, you know, one of their hero models, you know, the Captain, Librarian, Chaplain, whatever. Those are in the neighborhood $25-$35 each. So, yeah. I guess if you look at it that way, and the quality
about
and
25
detail,
bucks,
you know,
$25 a model plus, or maybe $20 per model plus 30 or 40 for the book.
Well, even if you figure an average of 30 a model, that's, you know, 120 right there, and you're getting a book. So, or 25 for the book, 25 for each model, and there's your price. So, I mean, I suppose that's not terrible. I'm just used to, like, I don't know. I guess those new boxes from Games Workshop are stupidly expensive now too. So maybe this is good pricing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and cranky. What do we got next here on the list? A 3D printable Norse ship. This looks cool. It is
Yeah.
$25, and it looks fairly straightforward. What is this? It's a 28 millimeter scale. That's a pretty darn good looking ship for.
Yeah, it is. For $25 for the STL file.
Yeah, which this is a new thing I'm having to wrap my head around because, like, you know, a reel of filament, runs about $20, and that's a kilo of filament, so 2.25 pounds, whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes the amount you can print from a reel is just absolutely mind blowing. So if this is something where it's just like you're gonna use like 3 or 4 of these for like something, you buy that file once, and obviously you can't figure out how much filament you're gonna use until you're slicing the file and like getting it ready for your printer, and it's gonna tell you how many grams you're gonna use. But God, some of these are just, they seem like a really really good deal, and for the, like I said, for the designer. They've designed a file. They don't have to do anything else. They've said it's on you for the printer and all the other stuff and how you want to do it. Here's my work for the file. Done. I can see why there's an uproar from some of the larger companies, like, say, TT Combat, Games Workshop, of, they don't like 3D printing because it's going to take away from, their
own designers.
I was going to say, like, their facilities. Like, they've invested in, all the resin, the machines for the injection molding, the staff to produce that. Like, actually doing that is not a small, investment. And for, 3D printing, it really throws a wrench into it. It's no different than, like, the current writers and actors, strike we're experiencing because of AI.
Yeah.
So, another one that Bruce found from the same group. Some Norse people to go on the boats. He looks very Norse-like.
Yeah.
And what I like about these is they're not, what you would see from, like, the Vikings TV show or some movie. These are, like, fairly simple peasant Norse type people. They're wearing, like, fairly simple clothes with fairly simple weapons. They're not, like, all crazy looking like you would see in, like, a production of something.
Mm-hmm. They got 4 different body types and about 10 different heads, some shields, different weapon types,
some cloaks, different weapons ranging from spears and axes to bows and a crossbow.
Yeah, and a spear.
I said spear.
Oh, sorry. I'm not listening.
Obviously.
No, it's just George.
You got your major ears on. You don't have time for the enlisted.
That's right.
Next, from Cricket Dice, we've got some cavemen miniatures, and these look pretty cool. It's almost Meet the Crudes, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Crude. Yeah, it almost does remind me of them.
And then, lizard men, or Mark Zuckerberg's relatives.
Yeah.
I don't know about the faces on those lizard men. Like, everything else about them looks really good, but the nose looks like that'll do.
It got squished.
Yeah, like that'll do. We don't need to do any more on the nose. It'll do. That's fine. Really. So, those are pretty cool. What are those about? They're just lizardmen and cavemen from Crooked Dice. Nothing too crazy. Alrighty. And then finally, TT Combat.
We don't talk about them at all.
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
so we got a whole bunch of. They got 5 new units. Some for Drop Fleet, some for Drop Zone, coming out here soon. So they got the UCM Brazil Light Behemoth.
So
you heard these were on the way.
real quick, have you talked about the airbrush accessories since I've been gone?
No, we haven't. So yeah, a whole bunch of airbrush stuff too, and some other paints.
And my mouse. So yeah, about a year ago, there was a Kickstarter TT Combat did for a range of paints, which, that was the, we've already got some good ones on the market. We've got, Games Workshop that everyone, is introduced with. We've got Vallejo, we've got Army Painter, we've got Scale 75 that I'm into, AK Studios, Green Crap World, it's
A large variety of
Turbo
companies out
Dorks,
there.
So Duncan Rhodes has his own paint line, which that was a big. And let's be honest, a guy who has become famous in this industry for his painting to come out with a paint line, that's a pretty huge thing. I'll give that.
Yeah.
So for TT Comment, not a small company, not huge, but for them to start doing their own paint line, that's kind of it's kind of a bold choice. If you look at Army Painter, what does Army Painter do? They do paint supplies. They don't do minis. Scale 75, they've got some busts. They don't do a game, but they do really good paints. Games Workshop is one of the few of we do paints and games. Buy all of our stuff. We're a cult.
Yeah.
Privateer Press and P3. That's another one. So interesting choice for TT Comment to do that. I mean, it's not a bad choice because then you can be on the back of the box to recreate this, we use these colors, and it's their paint line. No one's going to want to put a competitor company's paint products on the back of a box saying, we use these Jackwads paint to do our stuff. So it's it's just the nature of doing stuff. But yeah, we've got some new stuff. The PHR Battleship. This looks good.
Yes.
I think this is everything that the original battleships were, and then made to look good.
Yeah, so we got the Sarpedon, and the Kairos, depending on how you build them. Oh, there's 3.
Oh, yeah.
Radamanthus?
I just got to the one that has the the broadside missile bay. Could not think of the word broadside there for a second.
I like that. That's a lot of missiles.
Bruce might hit something rolling that.
He might.
And again, it's PHR. There's a very, set, this is what PHR ships look like. This is how they, are modeled, and this, they have a look. It's very, if you look at Scourge, UCM, not PHR, Shaltari, and Resistance, there's variety on the ships. The PHR, they've always got a nice, large, solid hull some point of the ship. I like this one because they've actually broken it up into 3 sections.
Different plates.
Yeah. Add some difference without changing it. So, really good looking battleship, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Next, we have a Shaltari, the Gold,
and a Bronze, and a Silver class.
I was gonna say, is it silver?
Yeah.
You guys are running out of minerals, I see. Well, I know. I said they're named after strippers, but they're actually named after minerals. Lewis, I'm looking at you for laughing about that too. Again, this is actually, picture 3 is was a little change up. I was going to say this looks very reminiscent of the other Shaltari battleship,
Until you go to that one.
But yeah, you get to the second photo and the third and fourth photo, they do change it up. And the fourth and fifth photo, again similar but slightly different.
You got a same back on but the guns on the front is different.
I was gonna say the back half of this looks like the other Sheltari battleship, but the front half is definitely different.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say this right now. They're going to still all be inferior to the Diamond because the Diamond is the best. Particle Lance Triad.
We'll have to see what these ones do.
Well, Socks, tell me. Whatever the Shell Target are going to pull out that does more work for its point value than the Diamond Battleship with that Particle Lance Triad.
It's true.
I mean, you don't have to give yourself a signal word line. I need my line. Spike. You can fire that weapon without giving yourself a spike and blow a ship up. So, yeah, it looks good. Don't be wrong. I just, there's some ships that never see, I don't build.
Yeah.
And if I have built, I've never used them just because there's certain ones that work so good. Shay asked the other day, "Hey, I got my ships," which is awesome. And he's like, "What do I build?" And I'm just like, "Build this. Oh, and I guess you have to build this because you have to have those to get troops on the ground. But, there's just certain ships that, you don't build. The only particle lance I use is the Diamond. I don't use any of the other ships because they're kind of inferior when you have other options. So these look good though. I mean, it's
the stats and the rules are on the Drop Fleet Builder. I just looked.
Oh, they are.
So one of these, maybe next episode we'll come through and we'll talk about these six battleships.
Give them a shakedown compared to their predecessors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next, we have a Vulture gunship. Now, not playing a lot of Drop Zone, the UCM do have some pretty dope looking models. And
I agree.
And this one is no different. This is kind of like this is like Halo meets Alien, kind of almost.
Yeah, the quad rail guns with the twin rocket batteries on the back. Yeah, it looks very awesome. I've always liked their UCM ground units as well myself.
I mean, and it just does look good. I mean, next we have a Scourge Punisher Light Behemoth. So this is Behemoth Light. This looks very similar to what's that other big walker they got? That's it's like got the kind of triangle shape with the 6 legs.
Oh yeah,
it looks very similar to that, but obviously bigger because it's a light behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
Some really interesting. I'm wondering one. Given the time of the release with the paints and everything, I wonder if this is done with their new paint line. And two, if it is, these paints look phenomenal.
Look pretty nice. I agree.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of how this model looks, but I'm a fan of how this paint looks. That just looks really good. And I'm gonna bring up something here now too that I'm kind of getting a little worried about with Drop Zone, like not having played a lot of it. It's almost like we're getting on like a size creep thing. Like everything's getting bigger. Like when I first got the game, like my drop ships were like this big, and like all the other stuff was like this, And now we've got
stuff that's
now we've got behemoths that are on par with like Imperial Knights and 40K, which are big minis. I'm wondering. like it's a 10 mil scale game. Like, what are we doing with models that are 6-7 inches tall? Like
Yeah.
that's starting to get a little crazy. I mean, people are obviously loving it,
Yes.
but when is it too
What
big?
is? Yeah.
Like Warlords, you're pretty familiar with it. It's stuff like this big and this big, and then you got like those huge like behemoth things that are like this tall. Like, when is it too much? I don't know, but like I said, I'd love to hear from actual TT staff. Like, what paints were used to paint this? Was it the new TT line? Because if so, like, thanks there, Alexa. I appreciate that. These paints do look good.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have a UCM Brazil light behemoth, and this one makes so much sense. This is very
Mobile artillery style.
well. I'm trying to find how to word this without it sounding really bad. So, World War II, right? You're fairly familiar with some of the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was Hitler doing in World War II? He was making everything as big as he could so it was as indestructible as possible. And this is what this is to me. This is a big piece of mobile artillery that is so huge it is indestructible kind of thing. If you were to send normal-sized tanks against this, you are screwed. Because if you look, there is a little cannon on it that was like, oh, tank, you're annoying me. You're gone. Now I have my big guns to turn and fire onto a ship in orbit, a behemoth, whatever. Like, this is falling into that very, like, bigger is better and biggest is best kind of category kind of thing. Like, again, it's that size creep that I was just talking about, but this one makes so much sense.
This would be almost the perfect size instead of the larger behemoths. that we
Yeah,
have
like
for the game.
like
Light ones.
yeah, I understand that people wanted these and people are loving them and buying them and wanting to use them. I get that. But, I think this is like the better size to have stopped at. Not even knowing like how big this is.
Yeah.
If it's going to be 50% the size and light behemoth, I think that's the perfect size for the game. And if you look at the first picture, I'm just look at this sucks, right? Towards the back of the green, you got that little oval shape. See if I click larger here for the viewers. That looks like the injection port for the casing.
Yeah.
That's a big injection port.
Yeah.
So, hey, and there's a little tiny gun hiding in the middle of all those, right? Oh no, it's part of the other. It's part of the barrel. Never mind. It's not another. If we go over here to the fourth view, yeah, no, it's just part of the barrel. It's not a fifth gun hanging out in the middle.
They've got a couple of small ones on the back legs. They've got
No. I was talking about on the barrel.
Barrel stuff.
Yeah, no. Yeah, those small ones on the back. Yeah, no, that's for trying to take it. That's for taking out the little tanks that are annoying it.
Yeah.
Or it looks like it could be a flamer.
Yeah.
Because that's not terrifying at all.
No. Napalm at 1,000 feet with the size of that.
Right?
nozzle.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna have to give the looks award to the PHR battleship, followed up really close by that Vulture gunship.
Yeah, I agree.
But
the paint job on the Scourge, I think, tops everything.
Oh god, yeah, there's so much going on with that, and like I said, TT Combat, if you hear this, send us an email, gettingtabled@gmail.com. Are these your paints? Yes or no? Please let us know. And that's for the news. So on to
Indie. Definition. Independent. Type. Slang word. Jargon.
So I found this a while ago, and then I stopped showing up for a month, and Bruce kept putting it off. Baron of Dice.
Yep.
And this is really cool, I think, because let's go to Dice Collections here. Look, you have all of these different categories. And I'm just going to search here real quick because it's faster that way. I'm just going to search dwarf. Because how about if I spell correctly?
DARF. Darf?
Now you're making me question things. Okay. Jeez. Well, no. So my keyboard will shut off if it's not in use after so long to conserve battery. So when I start typing right away, I'll miss my first 2 or 3 keystrokes because I'm quick enough that it's not registering because it's powering back
that's
on.
funny.
Yeah, well, really annoying sometimes. So I just searched dwarf here, right? We got 17 results. And we've got some with a face. We've got some with ruins. We've got some with an axe. Another face. Different colors. Vinyl stickers. Ooh, I like stickers. But then we have, like, if we go on down, we've got fire runes. And this is what I initially saw. So I'm in a Fire Slayers Age of Sigmar group on Facebook. And someone said, check out what I found. And those Fire Slayer, or those Fire Rune dice are exactly perfect for Fire Slayers. They're exactly perfect. So I clicked on the link, and I was just like, oh, hey, these aren't terribly priced either, because we're looking at 16 mil, right? Standard size. 25 dice for $32. And they look like that.
Oh, you got the Facebook chat up?
I do.
I'm posting you. I just looked at one of the in a different category. Go look at this one. This one is awesome.
Where's that at?
In the World War II dice section.
World War II.
World War collection. Third row.
Here, we'll just search it. Second Amendment dice.
Yeah, that one.
That is fairly fantastic. I'm gonna explain this for the people who don't watch. These are red and blue marble dice. The pips are white, and the pips are stars. And the number 6 is a larger star with crossed revolvers, and it says Second Amendment on it. That's fairly fantastic. But so here's the other thing, Socks, right? So you're fairly familiar with Games Workshop and how particular they are about who does stuff.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest things was scatter dice. People would have issues when they make their own scatter dice. Well, these guys are making Blood Bowl sets. And the first one I just clicked on just happened to be dwarf. That's not intentional, people. I just clicked on it, and it happened to be dwarf. Oh, maybe this isn't a... Oh, never mind. This is not a set. Sorry. I'll click on the next one here. So, these are Blood Bowl dice. So, I don't know if Games Workshop has changed their licensing, or if these guys have said, hey, we'd like to make dice too. Because sometimes, Games Workshop, they'll make a set of dice for a faction, and then they stop. And then the only way to get them is to pay an exorbitant price on eBay, or not have them, or have generic ones. And sometimes generic dice just don't cut it. You need to have, like the actual faction specific dice. And if my mouse would cooperate, good lord, it has given me fits. Are you in the Blood Bowl dice?
I was.
Did you see the one on the far right, the Revolution football dice set?
Yeah, I did.
That's right up there with the Second Amendment one. But yeah, there's so much. We got, like I said, there's sci-fi wargaming. They specifically have Chaos Imperial Forces, Xenos, 30K, which, that's your heresy. You got your fantasy. I'm fairly certain if you looked, I'm certain you would find something that would just speak to you for, Legion or whatever.
I actually have in the Far Out Galaxy. It's all Legion base.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, hey, sure enough, look at that, huh?
You got ones that have droid heads on them. You got some that have the Imperial symbol. You got bounty hunter. You got all sorts of different symbols.
But yeah, like I said, I thought this was a really cool find just because I'm one of those people, and I know a lot of people, it's just like, finding the right dice for your army is just important as the right paint scheme for your army.
Yeah, and it looks like there's down there, they have officially licensed Infinity sets coming soon. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I think this is like, because Chessex dice are great, but they're very generic-ish, right? So yeah.
like, the first ones I point out, like the Lava Ruin dice, like those are perfect for fire slayers. They are specifically for, and they are perfect for it. Could you find a dice similar to it on Chessex? Yes. Is it going to have the logo? No. So, yeah, I just thought this was really cool find and worth chatting about. So,
Cream, blue, frying, paint.
all right, Socks. What have you done for hobby?
I've been kind of busy. I have been painting some stuff. Did you see the last episode, George?
Nope.
Where I showed off my battleship. All right, let me go get my battleship so you can at least see it.
Your battle poop?
Yeah.
Hey, your tables are different heights now.
They are.
Are you simulating the edge of the Earth?
Yes. No, I dropped one of them so I could sit there and paint a little bit easier than at my desk. Because that's the perfect. The way they're raised, you can see them as kind of the perfect height for a tabletop game and stuff like that. But it's a little high to paint. So
yeah.
But that's my battleship. I took your advice. I went with the darker gray, and I'm liking it a little bit better. So
that does look a lot better. It gives it a little more almost sinister look.
Yeah, I agree. And so I'm in the process of painting cruisers and my frigates, and then working on some of my fighter squadrons, bomber squadrons, and stuff like that. I go on vacation here on next week for a few weeks, so I won't be here for the next episode, but I'll be taking a bunch of my stuff with me to try and paint if I got some free time. So hopefully I'll have a whole bunch of stuff to show when I get back. But in the process...
I'll wave at you as you fly by.
Yeah. But I've been busy. So with me now being an official war host with War Cradle Studios, I've been repping the community for Dystopian Wars pretty well. We added 3 more players to our group. So there's a total of 10
did
of
you
us.
say you're up to 10 now?
Yeah, and we started 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago.
That's kind of how Dropfleet was when it first came out. There was like 2 of us that were like, let's do this. And when the Grow Leagues actually took off, I think we had 10 active players.
Yeah.
So now there's 2 of us again.
Yeah. And some of the, yeah. Hopefully our community will stay. Our league is starting. I'll talk about the league here in the upcoming events, but our league is starting here soon too. And then we're going to be doing some tournaments and a campaign after that too. So we're hoping to continue growing our community and keep it steady. So that's what I've been working on. Yourself?
I have not been doing much. You've
been on vacationing and
so we vacationed for 4 days. So I was off from the 1st through the 9th of July, and was off vacation for 4 days. The 4 days leading up to that, whatever. That was all like dropping dogs off and getting those situated before we took off. Like, it took 3 days to disperse the dogs to be cared for before we left.
Too many animals there.
Well, that was just the dogs. The cats stayed here, and then the quails.
I'm sure.
The quails, just did their thing.
Still, if it takes you 3 days to situate dogs, you got enough dogs.
Well, considering what we have, like a not even 2-year-old all the way up to almost 16-year-old. Like, we have to like strategically drop those off. Like,
Yeah.
and then I got my 3D printer fixed on Thursday.
Nice.
The heated bed stopped working, and so it would not
Oh, that's not
print.
good.
And so I had to go through a couple of hoops, not too terribly bad. Anycubic support was actually really good. Little uncommunicative about, like, we shipped out your, like, they said, okay, yep, this is what's bad. We're going to send you the parts. Fill this form out. I filled the form out. Heard nothing. Like, this happened before I went on vacation. Heard nothing. I was just like, last week, no, not last week, week before, I sent an email like, hey, what's the status of this? And they're like, oh, hey, yeah, so bunch of issues, blah, 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 blah. Maybe we'll get to you the 25th. And I'm like, okay. It showed up Thursday. Pretty straightforward to replace. And I'm still working on my Warganizer stuff. I bought the STLs for the actual case itself. And then, of course, I've been looking for the right filament for my custody case. And I have found it, so I will get that ordered. I'll get that case made.
Nice.
And I need to do one more coat of the masking on the blades for my custodies. I'm masking the blades off
Yeah.
so that they stay this nice shiny chrome. And then I'm going to put a gold candy over it to turn them like gold and look like actual gold custodies.
Yeah, that'll look nice.
None of this metallic look for me. No, I'm going full on like chrome with a candy cover, and they're going to shine, baby. So, yeah, that's what I haven't been up to and have been up to. I really want to get... after looking at it, I think I want to get the full set of the Army Painter speed paint because I have an airbrush to do black primer with, so I can just prime year round no matter the temp and not like die from fumes. And start trying out this slap chop that I've been checking out. It's with all the board game minis I've got, and just I think that's going to be the best option I've got to do those and make them look decent. So I want to get that and try doing that. And plus, from what I've seen, it looks like it's a good set too. So
Yeah.
But next on the list is doing the flooring in my house. So
That sounds fun.
no, it does not sound fun.
Didn't you guys just do flooring a while ago?
No, we did 3 rooms.
That's what it was.
My office, Casey's office, and Sam's bedroom. We still have the dining room, living room, hallway, and then our bedroom.
Okay. I knew you guys did some home improvements a while ago, and it was pretty extensive, but I can't remember what exactly you guys did.
Yeah, no, it was the flooring. And so once I get the flooring done, then I can start doing the rest of the walls and all that junk.
Yeah.
So stay at base housing while you can. Don't buy your own house.
That's what we own this house.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did buy that one? Oh.
Okay. Where am I going to find a house that's going to fit all 7 of us? Not on base. Max bedrooms was 4 on base.
Really? Oh, well, that's, yeah, okay. No,
Even for a major. No, wasn't going to work. Plus,
I
plus
figured
all the houses on base are on stilts, and mold is creeping up from the raised.
Oh, because what does DOD like to do? Lowest bidder.
Yep.
Yeah, good times then. So that's why you actually have a house with a hobby room for yourself.
Yeah, because I took over one of the 6 bedrooms. instead of a closet,
Right.
like my last house.
All right. Well, I think we should jump into the game talk because I think it's a great topic Bruce came
I
up with
agree.
us to talk about.
Talk nerdy to me.
Playing with unpainted minis.
We all do it
So
in one point in time.
So here's how Bruce worded it. Just like, playing with painted minis or unpainted minis. Both have their place and both are right. So if you refuse to play with unpainted minis, right, you're kind of a jerk, in my opinion. Because one, what if I've just bought my army and I really want to play with it and I haven't had the time to paint it? Two, and this is there you go. This is one of Bruce's talking points. I think this is a very good talking point. Someone who's new to the game, right? They've just bought stuff. They're still learning how to paint.
Especially if it's their first dive into tabletop miniatures.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially as the first one. Now, let me back up here and say, when do you need to have fully painted minis to play in a tournament? That's it. If you're showing up to a tournament where you're playing an entry fee to play competitively, you need to have a fully painted army, and that's literally the only time. Just because here's the advantage of having a fully painted army. It's easier to identify. If you and I show up to play Bushido and everything's unpainted, which is whose? Right?
Yep.
Sure, some games
Especially if you have the same faction on faction, which you sometimes do in tournaments.
Right, yeah. So, let's just say we're playing Warhammer and you're playing Orcs and I'm playing Imperial Guard. We're going to be able to tell the gray models apart, but there's still just a whole bunch of gray models. So, tournaments, you absolutely have to have painted minis, and that it shouldn't be, if you're playing at that level, you shouldn't have an issue with that. Now, I will say this, having a fully painted army and setting it down, nothing looks better than that. And if your opponent shows up with a fully painted army, it looks so beautiful. I have a Facebook memory that pops up, and it was a 2v2 game. It was Death Eaters or Death Courts. This is Sigmar, and Tzeentch with my Stormcast Eternals and some the Tree Folk, Sylvanth, right? And the other three armies looked really kind of... And my corner, where I had set everything up, looked amazing because everything was fully and completely painted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Tzeentch, it was the guy's first army. The Sylvanth, it was his first army. And the Death Courts, it was his first army. So you know what I did? I sat down my fully painted army, and I played. Ooh. I think being that guy and refusing to play against gray plastic,
Turns away new players.
it turns away new players. And some of these people, it's just like, they want to play the game, and there's so many different, aspects and levels to the hobby. There are some people, and this kind of fits me right now. I want the models to paint them, just because some of the people that there's to play against, I don't necessarily want to play with them, but I still want the models to paint. I still want to have that satisfaction of, look what I've painted. Look at it. Look at this. But that being said, too, if I had just got something we'll just say Leagues of Votann, because I still want Leagues of Votann. If I got that and got it all put together, and I want to play it, I'm going to go roll down with gray plastic, maybe a coat of primer.
Yeah.
Maybe primer. But they're going to be unpainted because I want to play with my space dwarves.
Yeah, so I have to agree. Yes, it's going to be nice to have painted models on the table from both sides, but like the 2 players that just 3 players that just joined our group. One guy just ordered all of his stuff, and it's probably going to get here on Tuesday. We play on Wednesdays. He probably won't have time to put most of his stuff together, but he bought enough stuff to probably have a 2,000 point army. He enjoyed the game that much when he tried it out on Wednesday last week that he ordered about $200 worth of stuff. So it's going to take him time, and I understand that, and we all do in my little group that we created. But I have 2 armies. I'm a war host, so I'm going to need 2 armies painted up. So when I do demos, they're nice and painted up.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the other requirement that you know if you're a TT agent or a war host or what were they called for Games Workshop, Outriders or something like that, your stuff has to be painted. That company wants you to show up with painted product so that the person checking out the game is like, oh, I want this.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you showing up with gray plastic to demo. So, yeah, there's that. And just Bruce left us some talking points so that, he's involved with this while he is off gallivanting with his friends. Apparently he has those. I
few of them.
I need photo proof in order to believe that. And one of his points is refusing to play with someone with unpainted models, pushes new players away. Absolutely. New players are, they are what keep the hobby going. It goes back to what I said about the model trains. It just keeps going because new people do it. And if you push new people away, then your hobby dies. So if you're going to be that guy and all of a sudden everyone stops playing in your store, you have no one to play with, go look in a mirror when you're like, what's wrong? What's going on? Go look in a mirror. And, we should always be encouraging. Like, I always, kind of like people, when they, they've got, a start, they're like, yeah, I don't know where to go from here. Someone showed me their fleet, and it's just like, hey, you should do, maybe this or this will make the colors pop more, and it'll look more cohesive. And then he showed me a ship today, and it's like, he took my advice. That's a thing that happens when, someone has something that's not fully painted. You can inspire them. You can help them explore different looks and techniques.
Going back to that, I painted this light gray.
Yeah.
You said darker gray would look better, and I agree.
So that's what I was referring to, Socks.
Yeah, I know.
So, also, I can't take all the credit, though, either. That Paint Rack app is...
Yeah.
It puts your
definitely
brain
helps.
It puts your brain to easy mode on what color should I do. Oh, this will go with or contrast the best with this color. And I'm guessing you went through and you kind of looked at that, and that's where you settled on
I did.
that gray, right? Because that's what said would go best, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the color wheel is a thing for a reason. So but yeah, if someone shows up, they may not know about this app. They may have never painted everything. Someone who's got 10 armies sitting on their shelf fully painted has won awards, and they're like, well, you should think about doing this or consider this. Showing up with something unpainted and getting advice from someone like that is probably one of the best things as a new player or painter that you can get, because you're getting the advice from someone who's made all the mistakes and is sharing that information so you don't have to. And then you can accelerate your learning process of, skipping over all the mistakes and just moving on to more advanced stuff. And of course, they may have just bought them recently. Also, and this is a valid one too. Bruce specifically, and I'm going to quote him word for word on this because I think this is a very good point. You never know what people are dealing with. Spare the judgment.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The guy showing up with gray plastic, this may be his one weekend every 3 months he has a chance to get out, and he does not have any time during the week or on the weekends to paint because he has responsibilities with work, family, whatever, and he doesn't have the time for it. And then when he does show up, this is his one time to enjoy his hobby.
Relax.
And then you're looking in the mirror, if you're this person, hassling him over it.
Yeah.
So
I'm one of them. I will admit, I'm one of them. I have so many different armies that I haven't finished painting. I got this one, and George, I have 5 kids. I work full time, and I'm about ready to start a second master's degree program.
work full time.
Hey, it will be.
Do you know why officers have enlisted?
Yeah, so they can do all the work for me.
Exactly. So you work. Who always has the office with a door? The officer.
Me.
Do you know why? So they can shut the door and nap, or paint their minis, or do whatever else.
Unfortunately, I can't have that luxury because my 06 boss is just down the hall, and he always walks down my office.
Well, then you'll just have to pick up 06, and then you can be that guy.
But anyways, you're absolutely right about people are dealing with. I mean, one of the guys that just he hasn't bought anything yet. He wants to, but he's a new player. He's going through some family issues right now, so he's waiting for money to free up, and I understand that. He's probably going to need some time to paint his stuff too. So,
And now this will tie into the last point that Bruce makes, and I'll bring this up too because I said you have to show up to tournaments with a painted army. Period. Like a tournament is a fairly serious thing. That's what people are showing up to do. Now he says like turning up to a tournament with unpainted models is a no-no. But then he says unless arranged with the TO. If it is a small local, so you're a group of 10, dystopian wars folks, if someone says, my cat broke his leg, I have diphtheria, and I'll be better for the tournament, but none of my stuff will be painted. Is that okay?
if you're going to like a national championship,
Yeah. So I mean, for every rule and situation, there is obviously going to be an exception, And if the guy says, here are my reasons why, and the TO is just like, I just want people to show up, play, and have fun, do it. You're not going to win Best Painted. You're going to get marked on this because your army's not painted, but it's not going to affect your standings for prizes for actual gameplay. Yeah. So, and like I said, and some people, it's a confidence issue. Mm-hmm. Some people, they don't like how their stuff looks, with what they've done. So they keep putting it off because they don't like how it looks with what they're doing. And
a lot of brand new players, painters, and do that for the first couple of armies that they go through. And they're like, I don't like the look of this. They're so judgmental on the stuff that they do, and so it takes them a while sometimes.
That Space Marine foe that floats around every few months. But Clarence, right? The Clarence Marine. And unless you come from an artistic background, I guarantee you we all have one mini that has looked like or close to that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mine has been stripped of that paint, and then that model has been sold. So there is no photographic evidence of it, but I did. I too had my own Clarence.
Yep. So, no, this is a good topic. I agree.
Yeah. And like I said, with working from home now, it's just I'm already here. I'm not doing anything. I do a lot more work-wise than I did in the last few years. So it's just when I'm done, I want to de-stress and decompress. So I haven't been down to my shop in a while, but they've actually had specific nights set up where they just get together and paint. Now, here's my issue too. How do I move all this to go paint with? I'll be sitting there painting and be like, I want to do this. Let me grab this color. I can't take every paint I've got.
Yeah, so I said earlier, I'll be taking some stuff with me on my vacation to try and paint. I'm trying to figure out what stuff I want to bring with me.
Well, it's in the case of your finished ship there, right? You have a list of paints you use. So there's a chance that, you'll think of one thing that you won't have. Where are you going? Salt Lake.
I can find a hobby town pretty easy.
I'm fairly certain you can go find that one paint that you've just become inspired at the last minute after, whatever. Probably not on Sunday, though. There's probably most places are closed on Sunday. Oh.
But, yeah, I'll be able to go find it. Salt Lake is a pretty big city that I'll be able to go around and find.
For the most part, though, you have a list of what you're using and what you need, and you can take that.
Yep, exactly. I've actually got, it's all piled up right there.
Yeah. For my Custodes, right? All I've got that, the blades are chrome and they're candy gold, and I'm using a red for the cloaks. Not much further than that. That's not really something I can take and go sit down, hang out, and paint when I don't know what I need to paint with.
Yeah.
So, and it also goes back to the what happens if I get start getting the stuff to slop chopping. Like, I'm gonna have no clue until it's just like, all right, let's get here and do this. Oh my god! And I just realized the arduous task that is going to be scanning every single
paint into your paint
into that app. Oh my god! I just realized that. That's going to be murder. But fortunately, that app can just scan the barcodes, and I don't have to sit there and
type every single one in. But
guys,
still, the barcoding can still be a hassle because if it doesn't pick it up the right.
I've
had a couple here and there.
Yeah,
not many.
I've only had like a couple, not actually show up in the app. And that, it was like, I think there were some older GW paints.
Yeah.
So like the RE Painter Mega set, it should have everything, but holy smokes, that's a lot of scanning. Because
too bad you can't just scan the barcode on the box and just put it up that way since it's.
Because I'm trying to find it here. Is this it? Yeah. Yeah, this is expensive enough. Oh, that's actually not that many. It says it's 23 original colors and 44 new colors. 10 speed paid metallics, which I'm really interested in try those. And then 12 additional colors designed by Dana Howell. So, I guess that's still a lot of paints.
Still a lot of paints. It's like, what, 70, 80 paints?
23 plus 4.
20 originals plus 4. That's 67 right there.
67,
plus the
87, 97, 99. 99 paints. Oh, and a bottle of median, so 100. And a brush. 2 brushes. 3 brushes. 3 brushes. Yeah, no, that's going to be an arduous task of scanning.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more we can really talk about painting wise. I mean, if you're the person who looks down on people because they don't show up with something without paint, go look in a mirror and slap yourself. And I'm not joking about that. Alrighty, upcoming events.
Tournaments, demos, conventions, that kind of stuff.
Southern Fried Gaming Expo, the 28th through 30th of July. So right around the corner. That is in the Marriott Renaissance in Waverly. The Marriott Renaissance Waverly in Atlanta, Georgia. Excuse me. Oh. The website for that is www.gameatl.com. That's GAMEATL.com. Next on the list is Gen Con. Never heard of that.
2 weeks away.
Never heard of that one before. That's the
Nope.
3rd through 6th of August. Gen Con, Google it. Yeah, you'll get all the information you need.
Tickets may be sold out already, but you may be able to find a day one here or there.
Or a day pass or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Bruce sent us this so we don't mispronounce it. So I'm half tempted to just absolutely butcher it, just to spite him. The Nunawalding War Games Association Games Day, Saturday, August 26th at 10 a.m. That is the Central Ringwood Community Center in Victoria. Jason the Bruce will be doing an Entropy City demo. That's the 26th of August. If you're in the area and you've been listening to this and you're like, Harry Bruce talked about this. This is your chance to go down and play a demo of this game and give him some feedback on the game while he's still in developmental stages.
Yeah.
Next on the list, and I love this name and the fact that they got the name right. Weapons Free Drop Fleet Tournament, the 2nd of September in Cardiff, UK. www.thebattlefields.co.uk. The command is weapons free to shoot everything, not weapons hot, like everyone says. Weapons free.
Yep.
Warhost Official Dystopian Wars Escalation League. The 6th September through the 15th of November. 1,000 points to start, increasing by 250 points every 2 weeks, up to 2,000 points. Where is this at? Besides just Florida.
Florida, St. Petersburg from Florida at Critical Hit Games. So.
And then we have PAX Australia the 6th to the 8th of October. I believe Bruce says he has secured a pass for the 6th and the 7th. Oh, wait. Yeah. So that's PAX Australia. So if you go to that, go look for him. Hopefully he is not on a cane this time. And then, as Bruce's favorite convention name, the Northern King Kong, the 24th through 26th of November, Ossett, West Yorkshire, 55 pounds, includes hot lunch Saturday and Sunday. There's a Facebook link. It is the Northern Kings Events on Facebook. And again, that is the 16th through the 24th to 26th of November. So, and that's it for events. We'd like to thank all our patrons. I can talk. Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. We'd like to thank all our Patreon supporters. Specifically, we'd like to thank our sponsor of this episode, Valhalla Hobby. It's a great store. Someone got their Dystopian Wars because of Valhalla Hobby.
Yes.
Having a great deal.
More.
Having a great deal on it beyond using code GT2305. The price they had that set for was cheaper than what other stores had. And the shipping was very reasonable too. And
they have a lot of niche games.
And they let others worry about the Games Workshop and all the big name stuff. They worry about the Bushido and the Dystopian Wars and the stuff that people still want, but some stores won't dedicate shelf space to because it doesn't sell. They're located up in Verona, Wisconsin, so if you are local, stop by, check them out. If you're traveling or vacation, stop in and check them out. Say, hey, we heard about you from Getting Tabled, and you'll probably make his day, actually. If I ever had a reason to be up in Wisconsin, I'd definitely stop by. Yeah, you should definitely check them out. You know, the prices are great. The shipping is also good, too. And they accept all forms of payment up into including PayPal, which I love. I do like my PayPal for online digital payments. So, Socks, do you have anything else for the folks?
Nope. It's been a good night.
Has it? I turned your camera on, so I don't know if it has been a good night. Again, Please become a Patreon if you can. $2 a month gets you early access to the video version of this podcast and all other videos we do put out. The podcast goes live the day we record it. But to become a Patreon, if you go to www.patreon.com/gettingtabled, our website is gettingtabled.com. That's it, gettingtabled.com. We're big boys now. We have our own website.
We have actual .com.
Right? Yeah, not something junk /gettingtable, blah, blah, blah. Most of our posts go live at facebook.com. You can find us there at facebook.com/gettingtabled. Like I said, we have a video version of this podcast where you get to see myself and Socks talk like the folks who are. You get to see me stumbling all over my words. You can find that at www.youtube.com/gettingtabled. Please like and subscribe, and you'll get notified when the videos are released. If you got any problems, questions, or concerns you want to reach out to us about, want us to know about anything, talk about a tournament, email us, gettingtabled@gmail.com. We do have a Discord. We've got that somewhere. Bruce didn't put that here in the notes, but I think we've got it posted somewhere. If not, we'll fix that for next episode. Twitter and Instagram is @gettingtabled. Whenever I'm trying to do stuff, I haven't been doing too much, and I'm posting photos, I will post to both, so you can check that out. And then Bruce does have his Twitch TV, which is twitch.tv/JasonTheBruce. He's still kind of casual. I have seen him go live a few times. He's going to be that way up until September, and then he's going to go back into the swing of things, I think. Again, I don't think I have anything else for the folks.
Neither do I.
Kat, do you have anything? Hey, do you have anything for the people? Do you have anything? Do you have anything?
Nope.
No? Okay. That'll do it for tonight's episode. Thanks again for tuning in and joining us for this episode of Getting Tabled. Till next time, play more games.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For listening to Getting Tabled. Music used in this podcast was created by Eric Matyas at soundimage.org.
I already said the thing.